but not least, all the way from New York, our last speaker is Dr. Gora Mboup, President and CEO for Global Observatory Linking Research to Action, Gora from New York. Gora will be talking about sustainable smart housing, people, places, and policies, and he will describe the case of Al-Madinah Munawwara. Gora.
Thank you. Thank you, Zeina. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. It's always a great pleasure for me to be in Medina. My first visit to Medina was in 2005. I always said that visit was not meant for Umrah, but to know better the religion. Therefore, I spent all the months of Ramadan between Medina and Mecca. Alhamdulillah. I'm very happy. Nearly 20 years I'm back here talking about Medina, but in terms of smartness. Today, I am going to present housing in 3 dimensions: people, places, and policies. I hope this will work. Let me see if I have not used it. Okay, that is fine. Yes. This is based on one publication I made for UN Habitat in 2003. It's now nearly 20 years. I developed what we call the SLM methodology. And the SLM methodology was based on housing related to water, sanitation, sufficient living area, durable housing, and security of tenure. This has been recalled in the MDGs in 2015, and the SDGs 11, you will see, related to sustainable cities and communities. The first target is related to housing in terms of affordable housing for all. You will also see it on my right how the Saudi Vision 2030, the program called Housing Delivery Program, has also a component on housing. The Medina regional programs, let me just move, I hope, no, it's not moving. I'm sorry, it's not, yeah, that one. Okay, thank you. That's why usually I don't use PowerPoint. The system I'm presenting here related to people, places, and policies has been developed in a paper I published. I will probably invite you to look at in depth how, if you want to understand really, housing itself is in terms not only on the structure of housing and architecture, but it's also related to the place, the urban planning, the street, because the street defines the city. And of course, the policies related to land administration, security of tenure, housing finance, and so on. We have developed this framework. When I say we as a team, but I was the coordinator for the World Bank, what we call Center of Excellence in Housing. The Center of Excellence of Housing was based on these 5 components related to the housing and the land market, the housing demand, people themselves, their income, and so on, the housing condition and access to basic services, housing and land governance and legislation, housing finance. These are the 5 components, what we call affordable housing and decent. But when we talk about housing, it's not only to access to housing, but also to access to the basic services. That is the framework you have on your right related to water, sanitation, solid waste management, energy, mobility, and social services. The summary of the presentation is, in the case of Medina, based on the international definition of UN habitat, we can say the Medina city has nearly achieved the target element. How? Because the 5 components of the target related to sufficient living area, security of tenure, improved water, improved sanitation, connection to electricity, regular solid waste collection is more than 90% in the city of Medina. We can ask where this information are from, and I will use this opportunity to congratulate the Medina Urban Observatory. The Medina Urban Observatory has established a solid, accurate information. And we said better information for better cities. I was not surprised in 2021 when they received the Platinum Award from the WCCD, the World City Council for Data. And recently, as you can see yesterday, the Executive Director of UN Habitat has presented also an outstanding award for cities, SDG cities. And I think this is just to anchor again, even if you wish to present all this unique data. Therefore, we were able to work together and publish what we call the VLR, the Medina City Voluntary Local Review. The Medina City Voluntary Local Review is not only the SDG 11. If you look at many cities, there is more than 90s, including Barcelona and so on. Medina go beyond the SDG 11 on housing. They include Goal 1, related to poverty. They include Goal 8, related to economic growth and employment. They include also all the goals. I will invite you to read the report because time will not allow it. I'm almost done, don't worry. This is just few key findings. I am able to present it because the report was officially released on the 15th of February. If not, I will not present this slide. In that report, you will find, of course, housing ownership. And that is very important for Al Medina because Al Medina, as I always say, is not only for the Medinan resident, it's for also the pilgrims. Myself, I am both. I am resident and pilgrims. Because in 2020, I spent 1 year, I spent all the year 2020 here because the COVID. As you can see, these are key findings. You will saw also something very important, the Saudization of the housing content. And this will bring us on culture and heritage. I'm going to stop here because I know the time is very short. I will just invite you to read the report. Thank you so much. Thank you.